Right, guys. Thank you so much for joining, first of all. I think we'll keep the same pattern for now. Everybody gets a chance to speak, those who have raised their hands, as I can see. And then we'll move on to an open GD. Let's keep it a short one this time, maybe 40 minutes in all and all.
Yeah.
So, those who want to speak, please only keep your opening points or something, and please do not stretch. Also, last time what I felt was that people who raised their hands were counter arguing to some other person's point. You can do that in the open session, but only talk about your personal views or your points in the opening statements, and try to keep it short, like 3 minutes, 4 minutes max, and then we'll open as usual. So first of all, I've muted all of you, and I'll allow everyone to talk once their chance comes, basically. Uh, Needless to say, if you're talking, please switch on your video and keep it on. Otherwise, also, if you can, if you don't have any bandwidth issues or something. Like, let's start. We'll end max by 10:15 or so, or 10:20, right? Uh, Prateek, you can start.
Yeah, so the topic of GD is IPL in UAE. I think it's I'm for it because uh, as as the current condition of our country, or you can say the whole globe is. We need some kind of stress buster or relief to to get a whole morale up rather than the current news that has been going on. So IPL will surely do that, and it also adds to one another thing is that it is strengthening our bond with UAE. UAE government is all for it, and this can actually help us to get, as I said, India doesn't have that much, as you can say, uh, uh, partners or relationships in the more Middle Eastern Islamic countries, and as our neighboring Pakistan and other countries have strengthening, like we have Iran, but weighing, getting a good relationship going with UAE is also important. So that also IPL will be doing. Over to you, Karthik.
Right, thank you so much. Somila, moving on to you. Sorry if I've wrongly pronounced your name, but go on. Somila, I'm asking you to unmute. Somila, unmute and then talk. You can unmute yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
go on.
only possible. Okay. Yeah, you actually pronounced my name correctly.
Right.
Okay, so I'll start. So I think the IPL being conducted in UAE this time is something that I would strongly support because of the fact that if IPL is not happening this year, BCCI would be in a condition to lose around 4,500 crores, which is such a huge amount of money. Usually the IPL happens in the month of May, April, and I'm sorry, March, April, May. But due to the COVID-19, it has been postponed to the month of September, October, and November. So BCCI is in a condition to make the IPL happen in some way or the other. And I think UAE is a very good option because compared to any other country or compared to even India, where the COVID cases are increasing day by day in a very huge amount, UAE is a better option because of the fact that UAE already had an experience of conducting IPL back in 2014. When India had elections, they had conducted few matches. So they already have a good experience. And then the second thing is that the number of COVID cases in UAE is much lesser than compared to India. So around a total of the COVID cases in UAE, it must be less than a lakh or something. So and also the fact that the UAE government has given restrictions. I mean, has has controlled the restrictions over its borders, and they have also started promoting tourism. Also makes UAE a better nation to conduct the IPL, and also the stadiums that are chosen for conducting IPL are being located in Abu Dhabi, and then Dubai, and then Sharjah. So all these three states are very closely located to each other. So the traveling is also uh, reduced, and so the chances of contracting the disease in the COVID is also very, very less. Where compared to India, like you have to travel from Mumbai to Chennai to Bangalore, wherever the stadiums are, and it's actually the travel time and so the travel time is very huge, and also the distance is huge compared to the stadiums that are located in UAE. So all these points make I feel that it is safe for the BCCI to conduct IPL in UAE. So yeah.
Right, thanks, Somila. Akash, you can go forward, and then Karan.
Hello friends, I would like to go with the decision because after so much of a rigorous brainstorming, the BCCI and the government has made this decision to conduct the IPL in UAE. I would say this is I would say this is a good decision because in the point of view of business also, as Formula was also saying that it's actually incurs a profit of around 4,500 crores. And as we know that the sponsorship of viewers also, like the viewers also actually taking out this sponsorship. So it will be a big reason. It will be a main reason if the companies from UAE also actually help in supporting the IPL. And secondly, the time zone difference between the countries are also really good, not that much. So the viewership for the IPL matches will not be that much degrading, and people will be actually able to see all the matches in a particular time without any problem. Second, lastly, I would like to say that UAE is actually a better place for conducting a biosource bubble kind of a place, so that players are actually safe with the coronavirus. They have all the medical facilities and the hotel facilities where actually these players can live and conduct all these matches easily. Apart from that, India only have around seven stadiums in its vicinity, and all the stadiums that are in the India are mostly located in those cities where coronavirus cases are in a much extensive manner. Apart from Himachal Pradesh, but still Himachal Pradesh is not much available with those medical facilities that we need for coronavirus situations. Yeah, so I would say like UAE is like a really better option as compared to any other country. Thank you. Over to Karthik.
Thank you for your views, Akash. Karan, you could go ahead, and yeah, I was going to say turn on your video, but
Okay, so actually, Somila and who was the first one?
uh,
The first speaker?
Arnab, I think. Oh no,
Okay,
whoever. Go on.
let it be, let it be. Both of them actually covered my two. Each of them covered my one point, but I will like to add few points other than those, like like safety standards. Okay, the UAE has one of the best safety standard in the world right now, and the current COVID-19 cases. The today's figure is 62,000 cases, total cases, and out of which 56,000 are recovered. So the recovery rate is 90%. So this is a staggering number. So this actually signifies that the UAE has one of the best medical facilities, and they are ready to, and they have experience of containing the disease. Okay, so and So conducting IPL in UAE and all the players and all the support staff being in UAE would be much better option than conducting it in India, where the cases are on a rise each day. Still, okay. So as the medical facilities are there, the Emirate Medical Council and Indian Medical Council are working together. So this actually creates a better relation between Indian government and UAE government, which India is trying to build from last few years, so that they can secure their petroleum needs for the future. So this is actually actually a good point to work on. And the third thing, which I would like to conclude with, the franchisee losing money if the IPL won't be conducted. There's an official statement of one undisclosed franchisee owner that if the IPL won't happen, the franchisee won't have any revenue for the upcoming years. So conducting IPL is very important for survival of an franchise. So how does the franchisee earns its money? So there are actually two ways through which it earns its money. That is stadium revenue, and BCCI gives them. And okay, the stadium money, which consists of only 5 to 10%, is actually not very big, actually not very significant figure, but it adds to something. And the main input is from BCCI. BCCI gets its revenue from title sponsor and the broadcaster. Around the broadcaster pays them around 3,000 crore for each season, and title sponsor around 400 to 300 crore per sponsor. So this actually gets rounded up into around 4,000 crore, which BCCI receives. This money is divided. This money gets divided into 50-50%, which 50% is kept by BCCI and 50% is kept by franchisee. So that 50% of 4,000 crore is actually a very big amount for the franchisee to survive, out of which 26% goes to cricketer and 76 are for the 74 are for the franchise and all the support staff support staff. So and the conducting IPL actually creates a lot of tertiary job. So it actually makes economy grow. The last 2018 2015 IPL actually gave an output of 26 billion to Indian economy. So I'll wrap it here. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Karan. May I say, very well informed person about this IPL you are. Anyways, moving ahead, Shomrik, I would request you to go forward and please turn on your video as well.
Hello, Karan. That was a very nice, that were very nice words from you. And just wait for a minute. Let me adjust the phone a bit. Yeah. So yeah. So the thing is, all the points have already been discussed. So I would just like to say something. Like the first thing is, like, we have only so far discussed about the advantages. Well, it's true that the advantages take the majority, and that's the side of the coin that is a bit biased. But talking about the advantages, there are also just a few disadvantages. Out of them, the one disadvantages that I can see right now is that India used to host 8 gates for the IPLs. Like 8 matches were supposed to be in India every year. So from that, the revenue was supposed to be huge. And taking that IPL to all the matches to UAE is going to definitely reduce some revenue compared to the other years. But well, it can't be helped now, can it? Because if it's taken to be held in India, then the chances are even less. So India cannot hold the IPL. Another thing that I want to add is, like, all the benefits of holding the matches in UAE had already been discussed. So I just want to say 2 things. Firstly, and one advantage that UAE has is that from 7th July onwards, UAE has opened it for tourism, and it has made sure that the corona tests are done inside the airports itself when everybody lands. So that makes it easier, because in India, there's a 15-day quarantine period. Like whenever somebody lands in India, they have to go for the quarantine. But that is not the case anyway. So the players can make sure that they do not need to go so early for the matches. They can just take their own time and do it as far as everything is concerned is going well. So yeah, so that's one thing. Another thing, as Somila pointed out, that a major thing that is happening over there is because all the three cities like Dubai, Sharjah, and Abu Dhabi are very connected. So yeah, that's another thing. Like she said, as she already mentioned, the time is a very important factor. But other than time also, there is another factor involved. Like in India, most of the journey is like from one city to another, where the stadiums are there, is a bit far. So the journeys are usually by planes, right? And when the journeys are by planes, the thing is the contraction possibility is a bit high. So and in Emirates, all the states that the stadiums are located in are connected by roads. So the journey is lot less time consuming, as you mentioned, and it is also a lot less safer because the road journey can be a much safer way to transport because they don't have to go to the airports and all, and they can travel very personally. So yes, so I would definitely like to.
Sohamrik, are you there? Like, wait, you're unmuted.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, so yes, so I was just saying that yes, it will be much better to be held in UAE right now because the conditions are so much safer as everybody has mentioned. But well, we cannot overlook the disadvantages as well, can we? So wait, the IPL can be held. People's expectations can be raised. People's expectations can be made. The demands can be made. But we definitely cannot expect the revenues and the IPL matches for India to be as gainful and as profitable as the previous matches. So that's the only thing that I would like to say. And as I already said, like all the points have already been discussed. I would really like to know what other points can they come up. So yes, definitely. Acha, now just off topic. Like Karthik, did you give the introduction in the beginning? Because I missed that.
We have done that. What do you mean by introduction? Like I just explained the.
Like somebody has to introduce a topic, right? Like whenever it's a GD, there is one person who introduces the topic. So I was just asking, did anyone do that?
No, not really.
Okay, we'll talk about that later on. Anyways, it was
Yeah,
a
I
very
think
good
when we
discussion. Please,
open the
I'm really looking
discussion,
forward.
someone can, but thank you for
Yeah,
your
sure,
views.
sure. Thank you,
But
thank you. Yes,
um,
and sorry, Karthik, for taking it up in the middle, please.
no worries. Um, Arnab and then Yashasvi. Somila, I can see that you have raised your hand, but then I think we can open it after Yashasvi has spoken.
Hello everyone, am I audible?
Yeah, go on.
Actually, my internet is currently unstable, so please bear with me. See, all of the points are already discussed. First of all, for me, I think in India there are two kind of people. Number one, who likes this kind of sports, and number two, who totally hates this IPL. And there are some few valid points like spot fixing, betting, and I acknowledge that. And because of that, people do not like this IPL match, but unanimously we have to accept that IPL is one of the biggest sports events in the world, and its commercial success can be determined by the eyeballs on TV and digital streaming. No, so for me, I truly believe that IPL must happen in this year. Maybe in UAE or any country, other country doesn't matter because yes, safety is paramount, but IPL must happen. And there are basically 3 points behind that. The number one is financial sector, that is already discussed. I think last year, that is 2019, IPL was having the brand value of $6.7 billion. So you can see that the number is kind of insane. And for BCCI, IPL is one of the cash cows, that generates the revenue. And even for franchises also, I can understand. See, right now the gate revenue and the sponsorship revenue will be lower a bit, but something is better than nothing, right? And my second aspect is the entertainment factor. See, we all are skewed some kinds of entertainments, like someone like movies, someone like anime, and some like sports even. and football is already resumed, and some countries like England, Ireland, and Pakistan has already started their cricket matches internationally. But for Indian, cricket is kind of emotion, and IPL is the manifestation of this emotion. So we cannot simply just cap it out for this year 2020. So it must happen, because there is nothing to lose if we arrange this IPL in UAE. There is nothing to lose, so we must accept this fact with open arms. And the third point that is already mentioned by, I think, Pratik, that the external affairs of UAE and India will be much beefed up after this session, because because UAE and India currently in a good position, in a friendly mode. So if we arrange that game, and the profit will be shared between us, so obviously it is a must to do. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Arnab. Yashasvi, you can go ahead. And you were saying that you have some bandwidth issues, so mute your video or turn off your video if you want to in the middle.
Okay, if things will go, I will turn it. Okay, never mind. Let's see. So, good afternoon, all. All the speakers have put in the points very correctly, but I want to support Indian Premier League that is happening in UAE. Mainly, I have 4 reasons to support it. First of all, I want to tell you IPL 2019 revenue was about 475 billion. That's a lot of money. Secondly, is we all know that UAE is hosting it. So the government of UAE has already said that it is open for all. Second, UAE is not doing for the first time. In 2014, as one of the speakers has already told you, that during elections, Lok Sabha 2014 election, UAE has hosted some of the IPL games. The second reason I want to say that Supreme Court, which is the highest court of India, has already approved it. So along with the government and BCCI, they have already checked the balance sheet and they've already calculated there will be more profits to it. Third point, I want to say that it's an emotion. Cricket is not just a game, it's a religion for Indians, for all of us. All people from different ages see it, no matter kid or youngsters like us or old people. In this I also want to add a lot of local cricketers are totally dependent on IPL to get their salaries from. The last point I want to say that BCCI is the strongest board all over the world. So for them, it's a for them it's very important to grab this opportunity, because if there will be no IPL this season, they will be losing a big chunk of money. So it's a win-win situation for India, BCCI as well, the UAE as well. As we all know, India is moving towards cricket diplomacy as well. So as UAE is one of the region where India petrol is quite dependent. So this is a win-win situation for everyone. Thank you. Back to you, Karthik.
Thank you, Shasvi. Really good points by everyone, I must say. Neha, you would like to stop, but if I could just take 2 minutes in the middle. Um, First of all, let me recap everything we talked about. IPL being late this time. COVID cases are much less in UAE. UAE is better managed the COVID crisis than India. The travel as compared to India will be less in UAE, especially I think Somrik talked about the road being a safer journey option. UAE has safer standards and better safety practices for the players, so that's a plus. There are better government relations definitely for India and UAE. The franchisee loses money if there is no IPL this year, which is obviously an economic uh, powerhouse as we know IPL. Uh, Shomrik started the chain of talking about negative things. He talked about India losing out on economic options, but that is a given. A lot of cricketers, somebody said, and I like that. Lot of cricketers have IPL as an income source, so not having an IPL is a bad option for them. Uh, I can see some of you have raised their hands. I'm opening it for all right now. But before that, I would request all of you to maintain dignity, obviously. and give Neha a chance to speak because I think she wanted to raise her hand but she couldn't. You can all unmute yourself starting now. And yeah,
Hi, everyone.
first Neha, and then everyone. Yeah, sorry. Go.
Yeah. So, firstly, can you all hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah. So, firstly, in my personal opinion, for me, this is like a no-brainer question, like, where we have to think over something like IPL to be held this year. Firstly, it is not justified. It does not, for me, the location of the place does not matter. Be it when the government thought that UAE was our plan A was India, or if UAE was plan B or Sri Lanka was plan C in regards to the location being chosen for the IPL tournament. For me, the location is not an important factor because right now, I don't think cricket, it is an entertainment for everyone. It's like you all say, it's a kind of an emotion for most of the people of our country. But I don't think that kind of entertainment is worth enjoying right now when we are going through such a trying time globally. And also even though when you all talk about the sports or the sports industry facing losses, it is not just the sports industry, even the film industry or the other companies are also facing losses. There are a lot of people who are going bankrupt, but that does not mean they will do something which is not ethically right or which is not in the public interest. Now when it comes to the point where you all say that UAE is correctly chosen because it will help India to bolster its ties with the government. But then, is this the only way to strengthen our ties with the Gulf industries by holding a tournament in UAE just because it has already helped us or it has already held few matches in the previous years during which our general elections were going on. Now, my next point is when we say, I think, if I'm not wrong, uh, I can't recollect who spoke on the point of the biosecure environment, that bubble. Now, that bubble is basically nothing but, ensuring limited people to come in contact with the players. But my point is, what is the like there was a decision, like I read this article where there was a decision taken by the government of the IPL committee, the governing committee, that in case the player contracts the COVID-19 disease in middle of the tournament, he will be replaced or he will not be allowed to play further on. But my point is, suppose he contracts the disease in the second match. By then, he has already been in contact with the other squad members, the other team members, his own team members, and many other people. So then there is that risk of transmitted, getting others contracted by the disease. And also, when
Neha, like,
um,
okay,
may I
sorry.
complete my point?
Sure, sure, sure. I'm so sorry.
Then we can do it on open to all, if I say.
Sure, sorry.
Thank you. Now when I think about okay, so okay, there's one more point that I would like to say is that, for example, we are talking about we chose UAE. Why? Because there are less coronavirus cases in comparison to India, because there are less than 300 cases per day in comparison to India, where there are 60,000 plus cases per day nowadays, and it's all rising constantly. Um, Even though there is New Zealand. Uh, I read yesterday in an article that New Zealand had reported around, for the past 102 days, it did not report a single coronavirus case. But yesterday, after 102 days, it reported one case, and which was locally transmitted. Okay. And even though their borders were shut, they had that active case in the country. So my point is, how can you give that assurance, even though they have a very good recovery rate? How can you give that same assurance to our players, and not just to our players, to all the players coming from different countries, to not get contacted by the disease? Delhi has now a very good recovery rate, but I don't think either of us will be willing to go to Delhi right now if given the option to, even though they have such a good recovery rate. So I think, according to me, this is not a feasible option because it is at the cost of our lives and others' life. And I think it is not viable or ethically right to try to break the chain of containment, so that, if suppose we break it, the spread of the virus will increase more rapidly. I mean, it will go at a next level pace. So I think we can avoid that by just scrapping of this tournament for 1 year. Because if we see, you all say that the industry is incurring losses. So when you talk about the losses, as I said, there are other industries as well. So let me just give you some facts. I mean, I read it somewhere.
Neha, I am extremely sorry to interrupt, but you need to wrap up now. Like
Okay, then we can
we
have an
need to
open to
open.
all then.
Yeah.
Then we can go for an open to all, Karthik, not a problem.
Okay, I'm not specifically, criticizing anyone. I'm just saying all the decisions which, like Neha, you said that, our government took for IPL. First of all, IPL, the major reason it's not just because it is a strategic country for India, but the other reason is that they have expertise in that as well. If you are planning to, organize this event in such a big scale, you definitely will, go with that state which already have some experience in it. Secondly, all the WHO guidelines will be followed there. In the specification in the letter which have been, published, or I should say drafted by the BCCI, everything is written. So it's not like, there will be like gully cricket happening. There will be WHO standards followed everywhere. Third thing I want to say that even the players know they are taking the risk. But at times, like I just want to, give example of Europe, where different football leagues, England, US, Spain, all are happening as well. So it's not just that, cricket, it is happening in cricket, but already a lot of countries have already, started their games. And these are the points I want to state.
Okay.
See, if we are
So
talking
to
about
add
the
on to what Neha said and Yashasvi said, I would like to say just a few things. Like Neha's point is totally valid. Like I'm not saying that it's not valid. Well, containment should be maintained, but how long? Like how long should you wait? That's the first thing to say. And another
Exactly.
thing is like the lockdown is already coming out. We are already starting to come out of the lockdown gradually. I'm not saying totally at once, but gradually the buses have started going on, moving. The cars have started moving. People are starting to go to their own offices. I'm not saying a lot of offices are going for work from home, but some offices have started in like getting the employees to those places, like to the workstations, and started working. So these things are slowly opening up. So the risk of containment is everywhere. Even the movies and the like the other television series and all those have already started working on. Okay, there is a limit that below 10 and above 65 people are not allowed to enter any or enter any directions or any places or even go out of the houses. But that's just one side of the story. But the other things have already started moving at a pace that is gradually coming up. So to say that a lot of people in India are eagerly wait for the IPLs every year. So just banning the IPL for a year may not look like a big thing from a normal point of view and from the corona positive point of view, but to see it from the bigger picture, I think from considering the revenue and not just the revenue of the BCCI, but a lot of companies, a lot of industries rely on the IPL for every year. Their revenues, everything comes from the IPL. So I think it's just not a very bad idea, and all the government, including the cricketers, like everybody has already suggested that the IPL should be held, and they have given their consent. So that's just my point of view.
see, we don't know
Okay,
like
so
how
I
for how
want to
many.
add on this point. Okay, Akash, go ahead.
See, if we don't know like how for how many years this coronavirus situation will be going on, and we don't have a surety about how much time will the vaccine will come out. So as all had said, all everybody is saying that cricket is like a emotion for everyone and is a kind of a religion for everyone. So these cricketers, these players who are actually coming from different places, they have a mental, say they have already mentally attributed themselves about how they will be presenting themselves in front of the others, in front of their fans and everything. So they are actually taking care of themselves on all the situations. Even if we talk about the NBA players and the basketball players, where actually from last end of the July, all the matches have already been started. And England and England with the test match series with the West Indies are already happening there. Another thing is that the Pakistan and the Ireland matches are actually going to held after some places. All these WHO's regulations that has been taken up by the England, the people from New Zealand, the government from the New Zealand is actually looking forward to talk with England that how actually they are working on all these situations, and this actually make a trend. See that we can also, like, these are the developed countries, and so we can also there say that India is also capable of following all these rules at the same time and looking forward all these things, and we can actually help us recover our economy at the same moment.
Yeah. So
If
I
I
agree
can,
with what
Yeah.
everybody spoke, and especially what I completely agree with what Nega had to say. And we cannot deny the fact that it can be achieved only with utmost safety. And
Yes.
so coming back to what Sohomrek had to say before, he spoke about the revenue, India losing a major chunk of the revenue. I would like to say that the matches that are held in the UAE are privately held without any audience. So the main revenue remains,
50%,
okay, 50%,
20
okay.
to
30 to
30.
50%
Um,
audience
Yes.
will there.
just to
Less than 50.
correct you there, initially they planned to have no audience, but then after in the midway of the tournament, they planned to have a
Yes.
limited number of spectators being allowed.
Yes.
Oh,
That is still
so
not decided yet. Like
it
the
it is
decision is
one
the
of
still being
UAE
made.
the
government is
earlier
considering
The
it.
final decision will be made by the next month.
the
After 20th of August, the
But if
cricketers and
the
the franchises will
government
already
is not
start
having
moving to
any
UAE
issue,
slowly.
So my
Yes, Yashasvi,
question out
please.
here is, if we are sending our players and we leave it to the decision of the UAE government to take this decision on our behalf, I mean, we are risking our lives by allowing them to allow spectators to watch our match, where we do not know whether those spectators are positive, and even if they are not positive, I mean, they might be
yeah, this is
asymptomatic,
a
or
concern.
No, no,
even if they present
Neha,
a
Yeah.
in,
To
Neha, I just
address this
interrupt
concern,
that.
UAE Medical Council has already given out very elaborate list of precautions which will be taken by them, and it has been subdivided into many groups like support staff, medical staff, physiotherapy, players, audience, and ground staff. So, towards that concern, it has already been addressed.
Karan, I would
And
like
one more
to point
thing, each of the audience who is going to see that live match, they are supposed to do that PCR test 96 hours before the match. So with that respect, we can say that it is safe, and all of them are supposed to move through the sanitization panel. So sorry, sanitization panel. So that is a good
And
thing.
Can I say
talking about
something?
If I can
96
add something.
hours. Yeah, sure. You can go ahead, Kumar.
Neha, to counteract your point right now that we are letting UAE make decisions for our team and our country players. The biggest point is that the risk for them is bigger because they are at a recovery track. Their cases have gone down. They are right now they only have 358 58 deaths in the region that has been noted. And if we are seeing that with a growing number of India's cases, it's more of a risk for them. But as for WHO guidelines and everything, they have thought it through and allowed us to go through with it.
I
Okay,
would
so
love to add some points that apart from the precautionary measures that are usually going to be taken in the UAEs as well, they are not going to send their people without any measures to watch the cricket. Apart from the uh, precautionary measures point of view, I would love to add some points as well that sometimes sports from in history as well, it has been used to bond, to create a bond between the countries. It helps to strengthen the bonds. And with the sports, held in UAE, it will be great to for the bonding of India and UAE for the future, because UAE, we are always dependent on UAE for the mainly oilry. So it will be a help for us as well for for our development as well.
Can I
If
say
I'm allowed to
something?
As
add,
Kumar said, so
Okay, Samrit,
there are always threats and there are
Samrit,
always opportunities.
sorry to
Yeah,
cut you out, but
yeah, sure.
max 5 minutes more. So Somrik, Pratik,
can I add one?
and then we end.
Can I
Can I
say
add
Somrik,
Yeah,
one
something?
thing,
sure.
because it's an extension to Kumar's point that
Yeah,
strengthening bond with UAE is kind of UAE and other distant franchises which follow the sport of cricket is kind of important, because on a backhand, India has gotten a backlash for heading big three and kind of pushing other countries like West Indies away from major decision making power, because they control the big three, that is India, England, and Australia. They control the three-fourth of the viewership. So this would be a great opportunity to show other countries who are involved in this sports that we are not as I say, trying to block them, but actually we are trying to promote cricket as a sport.
Okay,
yeah,
to add on, I would just like to say that the Dubai Rugby event, it's like a very big event in the UAE, and it was supposed to be held in November. But the UAE government has postponed that event to 2021. And even if you notice, the Olympics, which was supposed to be held this year in Tokyo, that was also postponed to the next year. Now, there is a reason behind these two big events of the UAE and a worldwide event being postponed for the next year because of this pandemic. Secondly, when you all tell me that about the revenues, the BCCI generates around 8,000 crores per year. They are having international players being auctioned for around 15 crore per player, and they get money. They have a 16,000 crore satellite contract for 5 years. So it's not like they've not earned money from these IPL sessions from seasons from for the past years. I mean, it is not like they'll go bankrupt or they will not have money to survive. But then there are people who are not being able to survive in this pandemic. I mean, utilizing that amount of money for the people who do not have the funds to survive for their own survival, and who do not have the basic necessities and the amenities, providing them with all that is much more like a priority for our nation than investing in a tournament like IPL. I mean, I'm not saying it's not an emotion, it's not important, but during this point of time, it is not important. And thirdly, when I would like to point out, when you all say it is an emotion for the country, there was a poll which was conducted by the Republic TV. I mean, the one where the editor-in-chief is Arnab Goswami. I saw the debate. There he conducted a poll where around 77% of the people who polled in, they had actually polled for not for the unhappening of the event altogether. So when the nation itself, like 77% is the majority, obviously in that 100. So when the majority is not wanting the IPL to be conducted, then I do not understand why would the BCCI go and the government go ahead with this event being held in UAE in the
See,
place
the
first place
major
altogether.
problem is that I'm not.
So,
See, the
No, I
the
major
really
poll
problem.
sub
said
this point.
It's
the people in the poll say not to they discourage the IPL from happening. I'm pretty sure when the IPL is being telecasted in the TV, a lot of people will turn on and switch on and watch the match with entertainment.
see
So
what the
And
things
one
I'm
more
not
thing.
I
able to
would like to say
Guys,
that
guys, wait one
yeah,
second.
yeah.
Just one more speaker and then we end.
see. Just I want
so
to
if
say
everybody's
that
done, I would like to say a few points.
I just want
Karthik,
to
Just
can we
to
say
jot
that.
extend
it up,
this?
I would like to
Karthik,
say
can
a
we
few
extend
points.
this this Zoom call for like more 5 minutes? And that would be great to wrap it up because I have
I
certain
mean,
points
I
to
you
think
make.
we
need to
should let Akash
understand
speak. He was kind of in the middle of something.
I
See,
can't hear you,
Let
Karthik.
Akash
see,
speak.
I want to say that like the topic was the UAE holding in UAE. Is it a right decision? It was not about UAE like IPL should be held or not.
Yeah,
The
true.
topic was UAE should be held in UAE or India. Is it a right decision or not? It was not
No,
a
no. Akash, I would like to say something to that. Like the topic was, should the IPL, like IPL is being held in UAE. Is it a
yeah.
right decision? Like here neither of it was mentioned. Like even the conduction of the IPL, right or not, even that was not mentioned. And whether
Yeah.
it should be conducted in UAE or India, even that was not mentioned. So it is a ambiguous question. So it is up to our interpretation. And she interpret like everybody of us interpreted like should it be held in UAE or not, right? But both interpretations are totally correct. I would like to say that.
Yeah.
Yes. So it is an open invitation. So definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay.
in order to, I mean, just to as a concluding,
Neha, I am extremely sorry, but we need to end here. Like,
yeah.
we
Okay.
need to end.
Karthik,
Karthik, can I just
I want to say my point and then you can like if
I
you
think
allow me.
we can end the official, the GD part of it here, and then you all stay back in the Zoom call. All right?
Okay, sure. So I'll just add my point, like not my point, but to sum it up, I would like to say something.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. So
You're
throughout
breaking.
we have
Your voice is breaking.
Somrik, you
seen
are
that all
cutting
the
it.
points have come up, like they have also come up. Looking at
Let
the
Neha
entire
conduct her.
situation, yes,
Somrik, you
yes.
cut out in the middle.
Yeah, we were not able to hear.
We
The voice
weren't
is
able
Okay,
to
so
hear you.
is it better now? Is it
Yeah,
better?
it's better.
yeah.
It's better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go
it's
on.
better.
Okay, so as I was saying, like there are always pros and cons of any event. Even in this case, there are opportunities we need to look at, there are threats we need to look at. But we need to look at both of them and then you need to weigh which one is a bit more balanced, which one is a bit more biased. And to do that, I can say that there are points for both. Like as Neha said, like the containment is important. COVID-19 is increasing. UAE has postponed a lot of events. The world tournaments have postponed a lot of events. So is India doing the right thing by holding a holding a IPL match in the UAE? It's a question. It's definitely a question. But there are also other questions. Right? A lot of people are waiting. That's an important thing. I'm not saying that's a very important, but that's a thing to take care to remember. And as for the revenues, the BCCI is going to lose out on a whooping amount. And it's not just the BCCI. There are a lot of other industries also involved. Like a lot of franchises are also involved in the IPL, so they are also going to lose out. So and another thing is like the morale of the people, like we need something going. If nothing is going on, then people are slowly going to lose out. And it's not only because of money, not because of containment, not because of that, but because of lack of enthusiasm. Something needs to be going. That is definitely a point to be noted. So judging all of this, we cannot directly say whether it is the right thing to do or if it is the wrong thing to do. But if it is looking at the other point, like conducting in UAE or conducting in India, looking from that point, we can definitely say that the IPL being conducted in the UAE is a much better decision, much better decision than being conducted in India. Looking at the number of cases, looking at every other point, and as to say to that, like the UAE is already having around 300 cases per day, so it's definitely a much better situation. But as Neha said, the other point, it is debatable, and the debate can continue long. There are points for both sides, and we can add on and on, so it's not going to end. And going on a particular answer for that one, I don't think is the right thing to do it right now. But as Akash pointed out, taking the other point, it's definitely viable, visible that yeah, UAE is a feasible option. So yes, that's what I would like to say, and I would end it here. So please.
Yeah, thank you all for joining, first of all. And yeah, basically, I've muted all of you. I will mute you shortly. But I think we can end the discussion here. So please don't leave the meeting right now. Just wait for 2 minutes.